Hello everybody, my name is Xspenceif and welcome to The Facility. This is the start of my new series where I am going to take you through this underground bunker carved deep within the Minecraft realm. We're going to explore all things redstone. Today, in episode 1, we're going to start with the basics. Does everybody have their tickets? Yes? Well, without further ado, let's begin. Today we're just going to discuss the basic componentry and give a brief overview of what everything does. Okay, so here is the trapdoor. It's very self-explanatory. Iron trapdoors use a redstone signal to open and close, and wooden trapdoors can just be opened and closed manually as well as with a redstone signal. Here is some redstone dust. Redstone dust is basically the power lines of the redstone system. This here, it's interactable. You can turn it into a dot or a cross. These are used for various redstone purposes. We'll get into that further on in the series. Next up, we have the Redstone Torch. It gives out a signal of 15 power or a 15 strength redstone signal, which means it'll power 15 redstone dust. Next along the line, we have the Redstone Block. Similar to the Redstone Torch, the Redstone Block is a power source. It gives out a power of 15, but it cannot be turned off and on. Here is the repeater. The repeater is basically a signal booster. So say you need to do more than 15 redstone dust between two different objects or two different things you need to power, the redstone repeater will increase that by another 15 blocks. The redstone repeater also adds delay. It is currently set to 1 tick, and this is a redstone tick, not a game tick. They are different, but basically a redstone tick is 2 game ticks. And yeah, so you can add up to 4 redstone ticks per repeater. This little gem is called the Redstone Comparator. It is a very complicated little device. Its basic function is to send a redstone signal, just like the repeater, except it's a little more complicated than that. I would like to do an entire video dedicated to the Redstone Comparator because it's very complicated. Basically, it sends a signal and it reads the state of a block and sends out the power level of that. I think in this little video here, that's all I'm going to say about it for now. But we'll get into a deeper video of this at some point. Okay, this one, very basic. It's a piston and it pushes things. You send a redstone signal to the piston and it will push the block that's in front of it up to 12 blocks it can push at one time. And next along we have the piston's brother, sister, cousin, whatever you want to call it, the sticky piston. This little bad boy can push and pull blocks. So you send a signal in, it'll push it. If you remove that signal, it will pull it back. There are some stipulations to that. It can push 12 blocks forward, but will only push the 1 block back. And if you send a 1-tick pulse into it, it will spit the block out, which is really handy for certain redstone devices. This is a slime block. Warning. It is sticky. It will stick to nearly everything. This is a honey block. Very similar to the slime block. It won't stick to the slime block. Slime block won't stick to the honey block, but it will stick to everything else. Pretty much. The Observer. One of the greatest introductions into redstone, in my opinion. And it is used for so many of my redstone contraptions and devices. Really, really good. It observes block changes in the block state, and sends 1-tick signals out of the back end of it. And you can't see the back end. Oh, no, you can't see the back end. That's silly. But that's fine. Yeah, really, really handy little block, this one. You'll see it used a lot during this series. The hopper. This sucks. Quite literally, it sucks blocks out of chests and other hoppers. Always go downwards, will never push upwards, and it can go left and right. A hopper will always go down before it'll go across, and I've used this in multiple redstone storage systems and stuff like that. We'll get more into that later on. Next up, we have the dispenser. Always with that look of surprise on its face. It will use any item inside it that can be usable. So pretty well that's like a right-clickable item. or it will just spit out blocks. Unfortunately, it doesn't place blocks. It would be really cool if it did, but it doesn't. Examples of this would be if you have a bucket of lava inside there, it will dispense the lava and then it will retract it back when it's unpowered. Hence the name Dispenser. The dropper. He's a happy little boy, isn't he? The dropper has one function, and that is to shoot out blocks. It will not place anything, it will not use anything, it literally just spits out blocks, and they can be used for item elevators, which is really, really cool. The target block. Although it just looks like a target, it will send out a redstone signal when you hit the target block with an arrow. Also, if you send a signal into it, it can redirect the signal in the other 3 directions, which is really cool. I like the way the target block works, and it's very handy. This is the lever. It's very self-explanatory. It's a switch. It turns on and off. Very simple. Similarly, the day and night sensor is very self-explanatory. It is a sensor that senses day and night. You can set it to night mode or day mode. So it senses light level. With the change of light level during the night and the day, it will send out a stronger signal. It can be observed by observers through each state. The skulk sensor, very new to Minecraft. I haven't actually used it yet in any of my redstone stuff, but I put it here because it's cool. Like, it's wireless redstone. So see that redstone? You don't need it. You don't need it. You got this stuff here. You don't need redstone dust. Kind of. Wireless redstone, I'm looking forward to using it. I haven't built anything with it yet. The Tripwire Hook is another really good one that I've used before. I used it in a blueberry farm. Basically, you put a tripwire hook on one side, you put a tripwire hook on the other side, and you put some string between it, and every time you pass through that string, it will send out a redstone signal. Very basic, but a good little redstone device. Next up, we have the trap chest. I was thinking about not putting this in here, but it is a good redstone device if you're wanting to send out a signal from a chest. So when you open the chest, it will send out a redstone signal. I've never used them before in any of my builds. A long time ago, before I started playing again, you couldn't place 2 chests next to each other, so you had to go trap chest and normal chest. It was good they had that in here, but since then I don't think it really gets used that much. The Redstone Lamp. The Redstone Lamp is a handy little thing. It takes a redstone input and lights up. You can see them on the wall there, nice and lit up. I do wish they had different colored redstone lamps, but so far my wishes have been basically ignored, but that's fine. These things happen. Why would Mojang listen to me? I'm just a very small creator, but that's fine. The redstone lamp, let there be light, and there was. The note block. The note block is a cool little thing. The note block. The note block brought music into Minecraft. If you have a song that you want to play on Minecraft, the note block is the thing for you. You can use that to write and play basically any song you can think of. On the EnderMC server, I used note blocks to do Flight of the Bumblebee for Ithy in his honey shop, which was a lot of fun. It really was. I had fun doing that. The note block will take a redstone input and play a note. You can also observe the note block being played and get a redstone output from it as well. Buttons. Sends a signal. Each button sends a different type, a different amount of ticks, and wooden ones can be hit with arrows and stay down until the arrow despawns, which is really cool. But basically, if you want an open and close, you can press a button and it will send a certain amount of strength, and then the signal will stop. Opposed to the lever, which will send a constant signal and won't undo itself. Pressure plates, they are very self-explanatory. You stand on a pressure plate and it will send a signal. Some pressure plates require items to be placed on it, and some require anything to be placed on it, but weight on a pressure plate, it sends a signal. The signal times vary. Same as the buttons. And so we conclude the first episode of the Redstone series. This is just a brief overview of the various componentry that is involved with Redstone. If there's anything you want to learn more about, please comment below and tell me. Also, if there's any suggestions on redstone contraptions that you want to see, tell me that too, because I'm pretty interested in building some suggestions. You know, testing my luck, testing my skills. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.